Welcome back to the Daily Dynasty Show. Today's guest has been blowing up on TikTok. You've probably seen his viral video showing his insane QB progression over the years. His name is Jase Ashley. We dive into his journey, from where he's committed to play college ball, to how he's grown in the sport, and of course, we mix in some fantasy football towards the end. This one's part inspiration, part football talk, and all around a great conversation. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Here's my conversation with Jase. What's up, everybody? I have none other than Jase Ashley here on the show today. This is awesome. Saw his video. And before we get too far, I just want to go ahead and introduce the man, the myth, the legend. 4K on TikTok, nearly 2K on Instagram. But what really happened most recently was a video that was uploaded to TikTok. This is where I got, my first view of you, that now has 1.4 million views on TikTok. Jase, talk to me about that. That was on your 5-year journey. I mean, even, you had NFL players, guys like Cooper Kupp, commenting on that video. How did that feel? How are you doing? Jase Ashley, how's it going, man?
How's it going? Well, thank you for having me on. It's honestly such a surreal feeling. Like, I was talking to my quarterback coach, shout out Coach Gill, with Sling It. We were talking about it. We're like, dude, you should make a evolution video, because I've been recording myself throwing since 8th grade. Had gone all the way 5 years back, and it was such a cool video to make, just of my process and how my throwing motion has changed. It's obviously changed a lot, as you guys can see. And yeah, I think it was just a really cool video to make, and all the attention and stuff, I don't really pay attention to that, but it was definitely cool seeing Cooper Kupp and Garrett Nussmeier comment. It was really cool.
Yeah, man, that has to be awesome. And I want to just ask you this. So where did the love of the game come from? Obviously, you play quarterback. So where did the love of the game from? And then what segued that into I want to be a quarterback?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the love of the game came at a really young age. Like, you can ask my dad. When I was in the crib as like a little baby, I'd be standing up watching NFL on Sunday. I've always loved the game, always loved watching it. I started playing quarterback around like 7 years old. So I started like flag football like every other kid. So just started that love for the game early, and I've been playing ever since and really haven't stopped.
Heck yeah, man. So what led that into, okay, I love the game, yada, yada, like what led that into quarterback? Like, how did you choose, okay, QB is where I want to really go?
Yeah, I mean, I love the pressure of it. I love how it's like it's all on your shoulders, and teammates look to you when it's going bad. They look to you when it's going good. So just the whole the pressure of it, and just the leadership aspect. Like, I like being the guy in front and showing my teammates, leading by example, and just taking on that role and being a good role model for my teammates.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Is there a favorite team? Did you grow up watching and loving a team, or are you kind of all over the place?
Yeah, so I'm from Arizona, so I've been a Cardinals fan my whole life, and
oh, brother,
been pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? There has been a playoff game. Don't need to necessarily talk about it, but a playoff game with Kyler Murray. Who knows? Maybe the future can be bright there. So it seems like you've committed to Western New Mexico University. How was that whole process?
It's been good. The recruiting process is actually pretty crazy for me. I was talking to a bunch of FCS schools and a handful of D2 schools, and I ended up choosing Western just because I felt the most at home here. They really believe in me, and they're giving me an opportunity to compete for the spot early. So that's one of my biggest things. And we're finishing up summer workouts right now. We got one more week left, and then we get a week off, and then it's fall camp. So just looking forward to going out there and just competing with my brothers and making a run this year.
That's incredible, man. Congratulations to that, by the way. That's awesome. Shout out. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Ever since I saw that video, I have been following, man, and I think obviously you're putting out great stuff, content-wise. You're putting out great stuff, but obviously that evolution was such a cool video to see. I think so. Great idea. Shout out to the QB coach there.
Yes, sir.
Another thing that I wanted to talk about when reaching out to you, we were talking about the show and what segment we should run, and we were thinking fantasy football. Obviously, this is an NFL show, but also fantasy football show. So you sent me some pictures. You sent me a few different pictures about a few different things, and at first, it had to do with your punishment. And obviously, I wanted some more insight on the punishment itself. And you sent some pictures. I'll have this up on screen. So you sent me some pictures about early on. There was a trade that you made where you traded away Allen and Higgins. And by the way, context here with this trade, is that you sent away Josh Allen and T. Higgins for Kirk Cousins and Terry McLaurin. Before we go too much deeper, what on God's green earth was the thought process to trading away Josh Allen and T. Higgins for Terry McLaurin? Shout out to Terry McLaurin last year. And Kirk Cousins. You got to tell me about that.
All right. So the thing is, like, I draft Josh Allen every year. Like, that's my guy. But so I drafted Josh pretty early, and I also drafted Jaden Daniels. So Jaden obviously had a great season. I'm like, I'm gonna roll with Jaden.
Okay.
And I guess I just got greedy. Like T. Higgins was hurt. And I just don't know what made me make that trade. That's kind of the story of my season. Like I just over trading, unlucky with some injuries, but looking back on it, that's the worst trade I've ever made in fantasy.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the worst trades I've ever seen. Let's just go ahead and get right there. That's awful trade, but it doesn't stop there. You start talking about your awful bye week management for your championship round, and I'm looking at this, and this, of course, will be on screen. These are all the players that you had out. Shout out, you had Jaden Daniels, Jonathan Taylor, Terry McLaurin, Nico Collins, and yeah. So what was going on there with the bye week management? I feel like normally, obviously, guys like you, guys like me, we're looking at the bye weeks when we're drafting, right? Like we don't want too many. What happened? What happened there?
I think it's just a lot of dumb trades, and I just wasn't thinking. I feel like I got a little bit greedy. And yeah, it just ended up like that. I still had a chance to compete in the championship, which was crazy. But yeah, it was really bad.
And I remember that's what you sent me. You still had a chance, but of course, Chase Brown went off, and Jake did nothing. Is essentially you have a 6-game losing streak. So tell me about the losing streak. I mean, what was going on? Was it also like a situation of the dumb trades, or was it just like sometimes, man, it doesn't matter what happens, you just get unlucky?
I just think it was unlucky. Like I had a bunch of high-scoring weeks, but this is an 8-man football league, so like everyone's scoring crazy amounts of points, and
right.
Everyone has good teams, so it's like really anything can happen. But I definitely made some really bad trades, and yeah, it was unfortunate.
Happens to the best of us. Man. I have made some god-awful trades in the past as well, and I'm sure I'll still make some in the future. You know, you think I've got my guys or I want these guys, so I'll make these trades, and then, man, hindsight, though, it is a beautiful thing, right? Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's awful. But I do want to ask you about this, the punishment itself. So tell me how that came about, who came up with the idea, and for those obviously watching and listening, what exactly was the punishment?
Yeah, so the punishment was they were going to select outfits to wear for the whole week for at school and stuff. And it's crazy actually about that last game. It came down to the wire. So it was obviously that last Monday night, and that was our football banquet.
Okay.
So we're all sitting there in the banquet, and it's like we're checking our phones. We're like, dude, is Jake Ferguson doing anything? I'm like stressing out. And it was whoever lost that game had the punishment. And I ended up losing it. And yeah, I had to wear those unfortunate outfits during school.
So some of these outfits, for those maybe just listening, I mean, oh my gosh, it kind of looks like it gets progressively worse. Like one of them, you're wearing some sort of white, I don't even know, is that a scarf or something at your hip or something?
Yeah, it was a belly skirt.
Okay, a belly skirt, some random Everlast pink glove. You have another one where you're wearing this Cubs hat with a blonde wig, a Vikings jersey. Yo, what? I didn't even notice this. What's that on your? Is that an elephant? Yo,
it's like an elephant thong.
Yeah, I just noticed that for the first time. Oh my gosh, bro, how did you get away with wearing that at school?
Oh my God. It was like I was walking through the hallways. I felt like an alien. Like people were turning back, looking at me like, oh my gosh, what is he wearing?
Holy crap. Who came up with the idea?
We kind of came up with it as a group at the beginning, but we didn't know what the outfits were going to be. And so obviously the day of, they just kind of chose something. They dropped it off at my door. They're like, all right, you're wearing this tomorrow.
Oh, man.
I was like, all right.
Now, is that the punishment every year, or do y'all change it up every season?
So this is our first year doing this league. This is like our big money league. So it was like $50 buy-in.
Yeah.
But this is our first year running it. I'm sure we'll do something else next year, but see.
Love it. Well, I want to transition here. Obviously, let's get off the losing, right? We got to focus on next season. So speaking of focusing on next season, who are some players that you're really excited about this year in fantasy football?
I mean, I'm honestly excited for the quarterbacks. I think it's a really talented class. You got Cam Ward, you got Jackson Dart. I think Shadur is gonna shock a lot of people this year.
Okay.
And then Ashton Genty, we'll see how he does, see if he can translate to the NFL. But yeah, I think it's a really good quarterback class. I'm excited to see how they play.
I think so too, especially Cam Ward and Calvin Ridley. I think that connection, a lot of people sleeping on Calvin Ridley right now. Got to remember, the guy played with Will Levis last year. But this head coach, right? This head coach was with Burrow. Loved Burrow. They had that connection. And he couldn't do what he was doing with Joe Burrow with Will Levis. But I believe, I'm not saying Cam Ward is Joe Burrow, but there's a lot of similarities from the prospect situation of Cam Ward to how he could be used in this offense, which makes me excited for a guy like Calvin Ridley. I think some other players that I'm really excited about is going to be Justin Fields and Dak Prescott. And that, hey, listen, I'm an Eagles fan, but it is what it is. I think those two are being heavily undervalued right now. And Justin Fields could easily, and Dak Prescott, do really, really good for this season. Now, segue into an opposite question. Who are some players that no matter what, you're not drafting this year? There's no way you're doing it.
I think just out of petty, I'm not drafting Jake Ferguson. I
Yeah,
can't
can
ever
understand.
draft him again. Honestly, that's tough. No one really did me wrong last year. I think it was just my fault. Like I just made bad trades. I drafted a pretty good team at the start, but
Yeah.
like I just kind of threw it away.
Bro, having Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, T. Higgins.
T.
Oh, man.
Higgins, I drafted Nico Collins. I mean, he was hurt a lot, but
Yeah.
I had Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor. It was a pretty solid squad.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the accountability there. Just a lot of my issues. I think a guy that it's pretty easy to say, but there's no way every year as we get closer to the season, I feel like I do fall for it, but I can't do it this year. I'm not drafting Kyle Pitts. It's just not happening. Every year we get close to the season, I'm like, but he could be the rookie season. I can't do it, man. Can't do it this year. So I want to transition out of fantasy and come back to the QB play. And I want to ask you, what's something that you'd like to say to some of the younger quarterbacks out there, a bit of advice for them? Because obviously, man, you've got it going right now. You've got such a clear, good path. Your videos are doing great, obviously, from a content side, but the evolution has looked so good in that video for you and your throwing motion. You're getting after it. What's some advice that you'd give to some of those younger quarterbacks out there?
I would say just keep that hunger, like that mentality of like someone out there could be working harder than you and you don't want to be outworked. So just stay with your process and just stay committed to your process. Like when I was making those videos, I never thought I'd post them. Like 4 years ago, I'm like, this is not that good, but I stayed with it and I stayed consistent and look where I'm at now. I'm playing Division II football on scholarship and
Yes, sir.
my mechanics have changed tremendously and I've gotten better in every single way and I'm still growing. Like the process, it continues. Like it's a journey, but
Absolutely. Heck yeah, man. I love it. I'm going to be paying attention. So are so many other people, man. I'm so happy for you, too. Like, when I saw that you had that commitment, I mean, obviously, after following you, that's just so huge. D2 football, it's huge. And, man, I can't wait. You know, I'm going to be watching. I hope for nothing but big things for you. And, yeah, man, anything else you got to say before we hop off of here?
go Mustangs. Let's go.
Absolutely, man. Well, Jace, it was awesome talking to you. Going to have you on the pod again in the future. Can't wait. And till the next one, see you, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely.